we go. Happy Wednesday, March 20th. For those of you who are watching on the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please feel to fast forward. Oh, feel free to fast forward to wherever you want or would like to start in the video or watch the whole thing. Either way, enjoy. And yeah, let's make some magic. Let's create some magic together. All right, so let me... Okay, cool. Where are all of my... Yeah. Cool beans. Hey, is that? No, it's not. Okay. Let's bring this up here. All right. So what would I like to do? Let's do this. Where's my other guy? I don't know where it is. Is it supposed to be down here? Where are my other ones? Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay. So, let me put that over here. Hello. Welcome. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? Yeah, happy almost Thursday. Or it might be Thursday, depending on where you're at in the world. Just happy day. Feel free to join in and say hi. Ooh. Don't be shy. Let me know that you're there. We're going to be doing free and paid readings as well as other paid services. Let me know if you're new to this space, new to me. I wonder, let's see. Let's change the vibe a little bit. How's that? Hello. How is everybody doing? How are you? Is it Nomi? Is that how you pronounce your name? Hi, Nomi. Hi, Jennifer. New. Okay, so you're new. I love it. Come on in. I appreciate you being here. What's up, G? California. Yeah, where is everybody from? So I'm Angelica from Colorado. I am an intuitive empath and a quantum healer. I do offer readings, but my true calling is to help people be my true calling is part of like to be a catalyst for true, profound, powerful, lasting transformation for people, right? And to work with people like in group situations and to really get to the bottom of like the things that are holding you back in life and stuck and playing small and the sabotaging patterns and those things so that you can actually move towards what you want. Because who doesn't want that? That's great, right? We got Indiana. Hello. Is that all we have? Is Colorado, California, and Indiana? Is that all? We got California. You're from California, Jennifer. Welcome. I like the East Coast. I like the West Coast. I like all of the coasts. We got Pennsylvania and Kentucky and California and New Mexico. I like it. Greenland? What? I love it. I love Greenland. I've always wanted to go, and I hope to go one day. I love it. North Dakota, we have Ohio. Okay, my dears, so let's get into... I just want to put it out there before we begin. I have done like readings for quite a while, right? Been doing this for a couple of years on TikTok, to be honest. Yeah, I think I would. I want to go to Iceland and Greenland. I've been to Iceland, but only in the airport. So it counts, but it doesn't count. I want to actually see the like connect with the land, and like Greenland too, I think would be really cool. So thank you for bringing those vibes here. I don't want to murder your name. I'm gonna call you Kat. And yeah, thanks for bringing those vibes. So I have been doing this, readings for quite a while, and I just want to let you guys know I'm going to be transitioning out of readings and stuff more this year because, like I said, I do want to work more with groups. I do, Kat, I do want to work more with groups, and I want to help people to really, truly bring lasting change into their lives and transform. And I want to work with the people that want to do that work. So just to let you know, if you are wanting to work with me in like a one-on-one space or even here, I would definitely recommend getting in while you can. Okay. And I am going to be, and that also means that I'm going to be shortening, I think, the free readings and just kind of playing with it in a way to where it's more aware, like time aware, so that I'm less here and I can actually focus on what I'm building. Okay. So if you would like a free reading, thank you and welcome for being here. The free readings, if you do want one, comment with your name and a question. It can be, a yes or no question, general, love, health, career, etc. It can also be about like if you're on a spiritual awakening journey or a healing journey, etc. It could be, it could pertain to that as well. And let's see, if you would like a paid reading or paid services, these are my paid services. Okay, I put it on the bottom because I forgot to put it on the top, but I do facilitate in-depth readings. Chakra clearing and cord removal, quantum healing, mediumship, multidimensional mediumship, and those are my paid services. Okay, free readings are going to be shorter, more abridged, less in-depth, obviously, and I think I'm going to actually use cards for those readings from now on to help me just kind of tap in quicker. So I do, Liz, I do facilitate mediumship, like past loved ones. That's that right there. And I only do that as a paid service because it takes, it's quite a bit for me to focus and concentrate and to like bring that in. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to tap in here. Oh, if you are looking for a paid reading or a paid service, all the links to donate are in my profile. Okay, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And then you just let me know in the comments that you donated, because all of my people who donate get on the list. So I'm just going to, feel free to like the live and share the live out, please. While I get on here, I'm just going to like tap into the group energy and connect to the group energy. If I'm reading for someone else, I'm not necessarily reading for you. If something resonates, take it. That's how group energy works. Spirit moves through all of us. So if I'm reading for someone else and something resonates, take it. How does it apply to your life? If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. Please I'm going to encourage you to use your discernment. If it's not for you, don't take it. No need to make things more complicated or life more complicated than it already is. Okay? Know that everything in here is always for the highest good. I always have I have a whole space set up and intentions, always for the highest good, serving your highest good and the highest good of the group. We always work within the highest respect and honor to your divine will, your free will, as well as universal law. No harm is done ever. No energy is taken that is not freely given. Because yes, there is energy running in this group. And welcome. Okay. Welcome, welcome. So feel free to put your questions. Ooh, interesting. There's some interesting questions coming in. Leslie, can you be a little more specific? Better how? Please also be mindful of like spamming the comments. I see you. The way that the free readings work is I go where I'm intuitively guided to go. Okay? So if I'm not picking you for whatever reason, don't take it personally. I just go wherever I'm guided to go. And sometimes when people are like, over, I guess, almost like spamming the group, or just like kind of over, like with this like kind of like overwhelming energy, I tend to not be drawn to them. Okay? It's nothing personal. It's just an energy thing. Thank you for being here. Good evening. Good evening. Yes or no questions are allowed, are permitted. Absolutely. Okay, so Leslie is like all over the place. Yeah, not all over the place, but you have like a lot of things, health issues, legal issues, all at once. Yeah. So Leslie, I'm going to tap in. I'm going to tap in for Leslie. So Leslie, there is a lot coming in all at once. One moment. So there's a lot coming through, like health issues. So to be honest, to really go deep or to go more in depth and to really like unpack all of the things, I'd invite you into like a more of a one-on-one session, but like as a kind of like staying on more of the surface. It's really this point, the point of all of these manifestations are like, can you handle things in a proactive manner? It's also bringing up a lot of like you said, overwhelm, but like emotional overwhelm and mental overwhelm. So it's also bringing to light the like little imbalances that need to be rebalanced within your mental and emotional bodies, therefore your mental and emotional health. So it's without unpacking it all, because there's a lot to unpack there. That's kind of what I feel coming up for you. It's really about how can you handle this? Can you handle things proactively? And are you handling things proactively? Because it's also bringing to light all of these little imbalances that are maybe not so little in when it comes to your mental and your emotional health. Especially that mental and emotional health is also tagging into your physical well-being, right? So there's a lot there, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave that there. Do I have, I almost want to, let's see. I almost just want to like draw a card for you to like give you some medicine. Does that make sense? So Leslie, Leslie. Whoa. Yeah, this is it's interesting. I picked from my mermaid deck, and this feels like it says arrival, a journey ends, establishment. So there's a lot of endings and beginnings for you right now. You're also establishing a lot of things while a lot of things are crumbling. So it's huge, huge, huge transformation. It's a very collective thing right now, but you asked if things are going to get better. And to be honest, that question lies in, can you be more proactive? Are you being proactive in your responses to all of the things coming up, health issues, work issues, all of the things? Okay, that's where that answer lies. It's up to you, right? Because you're the powerful creator of your reality. So it really does lie within you. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kat. I don't know if you're still on here, but thank you for bringing those Greenland vibes. I keep having dreams of talking to past loved ones, but I can't remember the combos. How can I remember? One good way to begin to remember dreams is like writing them down. Ormus is another good way, but you want like a good quality Ormus. And sometimes we're not meant to remember the things. Oh, excuse me. But I do understand what you're saying, but like, it does feel like, you're welcome, Leslie. I hope that helps. I would start writing down your dreams more when you do remember them. You're welcome. You need a whole life reading. Then I would definitely recommend booking a reading, because then we can unpack all of the things that you want to unpack. Does that make sense? For like a free reading, it's not really for one, it's not really fair for me to like do a whole thing. I do understand, because I think it's kind of like I see the humor in it, but it's also not I don't know the word, realistic for me to do a whole like live reading. But I do understand, because a lot of people's shadow and their stuff is coming up, and there's a lot of unrest and there's a lot of chaos happening right now, and so people are feeling it. Raise your hand if you're feeling it. The collective is shifting massively, very quickly, and everybody's shit is coming up. And so if we're not dealing with our shit, if we're not actively dealing with our shadow and integrating our shadow and releasing the stuff, which is the things that I love it, because it's the things that I'm here to like help people work through. Yeah, we're gonna feel it, and it's gonna start being more present and very, very apparent in our lives. Oh, so you do a voice note. Okay, so that's good. You're like already there. You're already there. Sometimes we just don't remember them. Sometimes, because I can attest to that too. Sometimes I have like dreams where I'm remembering like, this dream to this dream to this dream, like just this whole string of dreams for one night, and then other dreams, I don't remember. Sometimes we might need more rest, because the dream space is an active space. It's an astral space. And so we can actually, anybody ever watch, what is it? Is it Doctor Strange? Yeah, Doctor Strange, whatever, Benedict Cumberbatch guy. You know how he goes and like he studies in his astral form? We can totally do that, but sometimes we need rest. And so sometimes, like the unconscious is more active, and then your conscious or your lucid state is less active. So there's like a lot of different things. Sometimes we just don't remember them. How do you get a free mini? Okay, where's my thing? So this is how. Free readings. So just comment with your name and a question. I do not do pregnancy or fertility. It's not my bag. But yeah. That's how you get a free reading. Okay? Just comment, leave a comment, and then I just intuitively go to wherever I'm guided to go. Yeah? Okay, that's better. No. That's better. Better. Amber, both parents are with you. It feels like mom is around you more. Dad is there. It just feels like he has a bit more, I guess, healing, because when we come in between our lives, we do heal, we do rest, we do relax, we do rejuvenate. And sometimes there's like soul fractures that can happen in a life, and sometimes we need to heal from those things. So I don't know that it's necessarily soul fractures, but it does feel like he's healing more to me. And that mom feels like she's more around, but dad does come in. They do both come in, but mom feels like she's around you quite a bit. Oh, okay. Wow. So yeah. So that kind of tracks. Amber says, I was closer with my mom. My dad died when I was 10, my mom at 19. I'm 34 now. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Of course, our peoples are around us. They do come in and out, and sometimes they just have things to do. But yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Amber. I hope that helps and gives you some comfort. Yeah, mom's definitely around. Interesting. I like this. We all have connections to aliens. That's where a lot of our that's where our origins are from. We come from the stars. Is it, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Aral? I'm not sure. Please feel free to correct me. I don't know if it's Aral or Aral, or do I have connections to aliens? Yeah, that's where our origins are. We're from the stars. There's just been a lot of forgetting and a lot of engineering to deconstruct our DNA so that we forget. We've also come in to planet Earth, agreeing to like go into like it's an agreement of amnesia, to like forget our different origins and for kind of forget how like powerful we are in order to like create a brand new experience. So, but yeah. I actually feel Pleiadian coming in pretty strongly for you. And I also feel Sirius coming in for you. It's not, yeah, those feel like some of your connections that are coming in now that are helping you. Pleiadian and Sirian. Yeah, Michelle, that's a really great That's a really great question. Michelle's asking, is my son around us? Sometimes I feel like I communicate best with dreams. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of times it can be easier for them to come into dreams because it's like a meeting place. It's the astral can be, because it's the astral realm, so the astral is a little bit more accessible. It depends on who they are, or like, because it can be a lot of energy to manifest oneself in different ways, whether they're just sending, but they can also send like pennies and birds and bugs and things like that. So, but yeah, like dreams are one of the biggest places that past loved ones can come to, like my mom shows up in my dreams quite a bit. So absolutely. Mm-hmm. But your son is around you, yeah. Hi, Jennifer. How are you, my dear? Yeah, yeah. So Michelle, it feels like you have prophetic dreams. And like prophetic from the word as like prophetize, like bring in like a prophecy. Um not maybe not in the way that, not connected to any kind of like religious dogma or anything, like just like literally the etymology of the word prophecy, and bringing in like, so what it is like a premonition through dreams. Prophetic is what I mean. um who was asking? Izzy was asking if you Izzy was asking for a reading. Are you still here, Izzy? What kind of reading, my dear? Just like kind of general? Are you open? You're welcome, Michelle. I see you too, Amanda. Um, let's see. Mm-hmm. So, Kaylee, yes, I do. Uh, it's not the same. Every medium is different. So I'm not like a Tyler Henry or a John Edwards or anything like that. When past loved ones come to speak to me, it's usually before some kind of energy work, some kind of healing work. It could also be ancestral healing. But yes, I have actually gotten quite a few like really good like messages. Um, but yeah, I do. And those are more on my paid services. Just a general one. um, Izzy, so yes, just want a general one. I've been really anxious lately with having a new baby. So congratulations. Congratulations on the new creation coming into being. Um, yeah, hon, that's all of the like, I feel like I just like tapping in, it comes up really quick. So for you, there's just like a lot of, it's bringing in all of the anxiety, is like bringing in all of the fear of like what could possibly happen with this new kid. um, all of the things that could happen, all of all of the uncertainty and feeling. It's also bringing in feelings of like unsafety and like, I don't know what I'm doing. So there's a little bit of it almost feels like a little bit of lack of trust of like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so that calls in the anxiety, so to speak. Like that kind of, it's like a bit of a cycle that you're in. But like fear, because like this is a new being, and like what do I do, and all of the what ifs. So it's also tagging into all of kind of like, though I'm going to say it like this, I don't really like, I will say I don't really like the way it's coming in, but I'm hearing to say it like this. It's kind of tagging in, and it's bringing up all of your worst fears, and that's causing the anxiety. And I would really encourage doing whatever you can to really get into a feeling of feeling safety, because your baby feels it. We feel so much, we feel so many things in the womb. We feel all of the vibes. We hear the things, we get because we're in a soup, right? we're cooking, but we also feel all of the things. We get the unconscious agendas of our parents and our family. We get all of the things that, so what I would do is, or at least what I feel coming through is, if do you meditate? I would really get into a state where you can meditate every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, to like calm the mind, still the mind, and then also practice feeling safe. Also practice feelings of joy, of happiness, of safety. Feelings that you want to feel, because your baby's going to feel that too. Because your baby's feeling your anxiety. And it's not to like judge or anything like that, but like just when we're kids and we in the womb, we feel all of the things. And so the suggestion, the invitation that's coming through is really practicing mindfully of the anxiety, and like, okay, I'm feeling the anxiety. I'm going to go in, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to like feel feelings of joy. What does it feel like to step into a feeling of joy now? What does it feel like feeling calm and centered and safe? What does it feel like? These are some of the things that I help people with in one-on-one sessions, but like, this is kind of like the vibe that I'm getting for you. I would really, really encourage that. Of course, it gets to be your choice. So be empowered in whatever you choose. Hi, Sarah. So yeah, if I do mediumship, but it's on my paid services. Okay. I know some people kind of get bummed out about that, but like, it takes a lot of focus and energy for me to do that. Okay. I'm so glad, Izzy. I'm so glad. We're sending you all the love, girl. Yeah, congratulations. Like, your baby's feeling all of the things, and if you practice feeling those, she's gonna, or I don't know if it's a girl. I don't even know. I don't know if it's a girl. Maybe that was a slip up. Maybe it wasn't. But like your baby feels all of the things. So I feel like that's like kind of for both of you to understand, or kind of just get into a more centered space, because as a mom, I know what I'm not a mom. I've never been a mom or anything like that, but like, I just know what it was like for my mom. And I'm like, you're tripping me out, because I feel all the things. And the kids that are coming in are now more like sensitive than ever. And I don't mean like in like a bad way. I mean like sensitive to spirit. They're sensitive in these very, very profound spiritual ways, that if you can teach them now how to like get into a more centered space, especially while they're in the womb, that's like such a big gift. And that's just speaking from someone who's done a lot of healing from the womb and healing from all of the trauma that that came from my mom and my family structure. Take what resonates though. I feel like meditation and going outside and grounding yourself daily. Yeah. Absolutely, Amber Rose. Definitely, like a lot of nature. I bet you will help a lot. So Jennifer, can you explain a little bit more in depth why you feel so encouraged, why you feel so concerned about your spiritual life? What's going? I do facilitate health. I don't do fertility though. Okay. Oh, she's 3 months. Also, so it is a girl. Interesting. Yeah. How funny. Yeah, absolutely. I really agree with what Amber is saying. Getting outside, getting your feet on the ground, getting in nature, and just like being. Don't take your phone. Don't take that shit. Just like be. Because a lot of us have forgotten how to just be. And be outside and be like with the elements and be still, especially. Oh, I need to fix this. So, oh, okay. I feel you, Jennifer. You know what it is? What I feel coming in for you is because you need to go into healing. Because, so what Jennifer is saying, just for those watching on the replay, Jennifer is saying, I used to be able to do energy work, astral project, and so much more. But like for almost a year, I haven't been able to do anything. It's because you need to go into your own healing thing. And sometimes those things, if we're not like doing the things to like actively heal, what it feels like, honestly, is, hold on, I like fixing my shirt and it keeps like riding up on me. What it feels like, or let me see. Have you been having, in that time of that year, Jennifer, have you been having like inklings or guidance or insights or inspiration of like, hey, it's time to do healing, or like in whatever way? Because it feels like your guides have been trying to get you to do the healing work and do the work, but it's like, no, I want to do the cool things. I want to do the astral projection. I want to do the energy work. But like, here's the thing. If we're not in integrity within ourselves, if we're not doing our own internal like healing work, we're out of integrity. Does that make sense? So as a healer, I'm constantly working on myself, not constantly working on myself, but like I'm very, very meticulous and very adamant about walking the walk or walking my talk. I'm not just like a healer or an energy worker. Like I do this stuff daily for myself. Yeah, it's because it's time to like do your stuff. And so what your guides are coming in and kind of saying like, we had to like cover up, not cover up, not really cover up, but like we kind of had to like, you still have these abilities, but girl, you got to do your work. You got to do your work because you're out of integrity. And if you give energy work and you're out of integrity yourself, you could be doing more harm than good. If you're astral projectioning and you don't know how to like be in that space in a very sovereign way, you can get yourself into a really shitty or like, really precarious position. Okay? And especially with us right now being in a spiritual war or a war for consciousness, it's really important. So this is actually one of the best things that can happen to you, rather than you getting in a bind that would have been really, really a really hard lesson to get out of. That's the feeling that I'm getting from them. And they're like, we've been telling you. And not in a judgmental way, but like there's like, this is how I'm lovingly saying this as delicately as I can, but it feels like they've been telling you, they've been showing you the signs, but it feels like the ego, like your ego for whatever reason wants to do like the cool things, the things that are in like the fads. This is one of the dangers of spirituality and astral projection and opening our third eye. That's part of the danger of like doing this, or of those things being a fad, because then people who are uninformed, or they're not fully informed, or it's like they just want to do it because it's cool, they can get themselves into really, really tricky situations that could end up being a very, very hard lesson and causing trauma. So instead of causing trauma, your guides have kind of shut off those abilities temporarily to get you into a healing space so that you're doing your work and that you're becoming more self-aware. Because especially with your ability to astral project, girl, you need to like, it's not about bringing fear. Like, I'm not here to do that. It's about awareness. Like, you really need to know how to navigate those ways, those spaces in much higher degree of integrity and much higher degree of empowerment. Okay, so your guys are just saying like, they're still there, but like you need to learn the foundational things first. And part of those foundations is like, you need to learn yourself. You need to like get really, really, really proactive in your healing space. And like healing your shit and really dealing with your shit. Because if you're doing energy work and stuff, again, you could be doing more harm than good. I've seen people do harm, like more harm than good. Like they're channeling, but they're channeling from their ego. And they're having people believe that, spirits are saying things that they're not. Like, that can really fuck somebody up. And as someone who holds myself to a very high degree of integrity, I'm gonna always like tell you how it is. Okay. And I'm always gonna like call that out. So, yeah, because it's a very sacred thing to have someone trust you in that way. So, yeah, let's see. A lot of crying, getting angry. I invested so much in my friend's life that I lost my own life. Oh, my dear. So that's interesting. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit of codependency there. But like, I totally get that. I've been that too. And I'm still like releasing those like cords of codependency. So I get that, like losing yourself in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, it doesn't matter. But like, yeah. Yeah, so So it's kind of your spirit guide's way of like getting you to focus really, really seriously, like really disciplined on like, what does Jennifer need? Like, seriously, what does Jennifer need? Not what do you want? Because what we want isn't necessarily what we need. Does that make sense? Because sometimes we need medicine that we don't necessarily want, but like we need it. Does that make sense? And the medicine isn't always great tasting. So it kind of feels like that. I get those vibes for you. It's like you're getting medicine right now that you don't want, but like you need because it's going to serve you down the road. Okay. Oh, a hardship. Oh, she was going through a hardship. I was helping her. Oh, okay. But I knew she wasn't. Yeah, I get that. I get that. So it feels like you were overly attached to her outcome and helping her. And in the meantime, you didn't realize what Jennifer needed. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes that definitely happens. And we're like, we get so invested in someone else's thing. But what we have to understand too at the same time is we have to also remember to consider ourselves and our needs and learn to like have a healthy detachment. Like that also gets to be their choice and their power. So if they're not choosing to be in their power or they're not choosing the things that you feel, or even if like you're an intuitive, would help them, especially as intuitives, girl, you gotta learn to let go and be like, that's you. That's not my circus, not my monkeys. If that's your choice, that's your choice. You get to deal with that. You get to, because it's their learning lessons, right? I can't tell you how many times, I've had to pull myself back or remind myself, like, that's their choice. If they're not choosing, like, what I'm seeing and feeling for them, I need to like pull back and become, it's not about being like fine then, like resentful or anything because they're not taking our advice. Sometimes it's a lot of times it's also going to be a lesson for us to learn, to discern, like stay in your own lane. Especially if you're astral projecting and you're like intuitive and you're doing energy work, you can only be of service to the degree that other people are allowing you and want to implement your advice into their lives. If you get attached beyond that, that's on you. Okay? So it's about kind of like learning to discern and learning boundaries, all of these things for you. So it's time to focus on Jennifer and what Jennifer needs. That makes sense? Yeah, of course. Amanda, are you still here? Yeah, I know, Jennifer. It's like, I'm learning that now. Yeah. Yeah, and it's, you know what? And I wouldn't even say that you messed up. You're learning. You learned that. So you learned, and now it's like, okay, I get it. I understand. Okay. And now it's time to like implement that lesson into your life. So where are the boundaries that need to go? What does Jennifer need? And really tuning into what Jennifer needs, what Jennifer values, and all of those things, because they come with their own set of like initiations, to be honest. But I really wouldn't say that you messed up. I would say that you learned something. Now you just need to implement that, like put that into practice in your life. So Amanda, you're asking, For either a health or a general mini reading. Okay, yeah, sure. Amanda. Okay, Amanda. Amanda, you're asking for general or health. So let me just kind of connect in and see. I get a lot of, that's interesting. I get a lot of stuff in the heart. So I'm just going to pull a card for you, Amanda, and see what comes in. Because I get like an interesting flow into the heart. So let's do a last call for any free readings or even paid readings or other paid services. And yeah. I wish I would have wrote down the time Okay, let's just do the things. There it is. Interesting. Okay. Here you go, Amanda. Are you ready? Self-worth. I know it's upside down. Self-worth. It's upside down for a reason. So it feels like this is where like self-worth feels to be honest, it feels wired. Not that it's necessarily backwards, but like it's wired in a way where it's your self-worth is wired in a way where it doesn't serve you. So it feels like, it almost feels like you go into people pleaser stuff, and then your self-worth is put on the back burner. And then there's also an aspect of like self-betrayal there. And so like, it's like I put my self-worth on the back burner, and it's almost like other people's feelings or judgments of me or how they think of me or value of me is forefront, and my self-worth is on the back burner. And that there's a level of self-betrayal in that. And so that self-worth is like kind of it's wired, backwards, so to speak. So that's why, because your self-worth is needing to be like here, nourished by you, respected and honored, and what's the other word? There's another word, but I'm not sure what it is. Respected and honored by you. And learning, or AKA remembering, that others' definitions of you or judgments of you, that gets to be their shit. And part of your lesson, part of your learning is to remember that. Like, oh, that's their shit, not mine. That's their circus, their monkeys, their judgments. Anybody else's judgments of you is their stuff. It's going to be their projections, which come from their wounds, their traumas, their beliefs, their experiences. And that shit is theirs, not yours. What is yours, though, is how am I treating me? How am I treating Amanda? Where is my self-worth? Am I nurturing that? Do I feel worthy? Am I like taking care of Amanda? Or, where is that? Okay, so that's kind of what I get for you is like the self-worth. It's time to bring the self-worth into like the forefront and really understand that you are worthy and you deserve it. You deserve like the best. You deserve exactly what you need, what you want. And you deserve to remember that other people's shit is their shit. And you deserve to allow them to have that. This is part of like boundaries and knowing your lane, knowing what's yours and what's not. Does that make sense? Your people pleaser. Yeah, there's like and that's where the self-worth goes out the window. It feels like to me. Because you're putting your self-worth like below other people's like judgments or what they need or what they want. And like your self-worth is like, meanwhile, like wants to be acknowledged by you as being valid, heard, seen. And that feels like it goes hand in hand with your inner child, my dear. Yeah. Yeah. So it's time to bring the self-worth up front. Okay? Makes sense? Yeah. Because you're worthy. It's just like you've forgotten you've forgotten it, and you have a certain orientation in your life that have been caused by, limitations and beliefs and family orientations and other societal stuff. And it's caused this orientation of like, I don't matter and I am unworthy, and putting your self-worth on the back burner. And it's creating this identity of like, you're not fully in your power. And that's a big part of like why others are showing up in your life the way you do, because you're allowing them to. Okay. Yeah. I totally get that. So my childhood was traumatic, to say the least. So that gave me chills. Feels, girl, like same. And that's why I'm here giving the medicine, because I've done like the work. But like, I've also realized I'm worthy of that, and you are too. And so it's, if you're open to it, it's definitely an initiation in and of itself that has its nuances and subtleties, but like that's where you're at right now. Okay, is to like reorient that identity, and not to be like self-promoting or anything, but like I do have sessions available where I'm actually learning, actually newly certified in this new process of recoding those identities to help you like release all of that shit, so that you do not have to actually spend years and years in therapy or years and years doing shadow work, and you can actually release self-limiting negative thoughts and beliefs and emotions and patterns in minutes. So that's there. It's called I believe it's called the 2-session special, but that's there. And if you or anybody else is interested in that, it's an amazing process. And I wish I would have, like came across this. It didn't even exist back then, but like, I wish something like that would have existed, in 2017 when I started doing my work, because I wouldn't have been doing it for like as long as I was, only to realize I was trying to fix myself. So kind of like an energy lobotomy, kind of. Yeah, kind of, but not really. It's more like recoding the brain. Okay, so it's actually very based in science. If you've ever heard of the reconsolidation moment in the brain, where if we're learning something new, we're actually working with people's super conscious, like their higher self, right? We're working with your super unconscious, We're bringing up all of the resistance. What do you want to create? And then we're going to bring up all the resistance to the thing that you want to create in your life. And then we're going to remove all of that. And we give instructions. We do that by giving instructions to the higher self to treat all of that stuff that's in the way. So it allows you to just kind of move effortlessly towards your goal. How much that is? Two sessions for 111, which is really fucking unheard of, because the people that are certified in this work and are the big super I'm certified, but the other coaches of this, because it's called, what is it, magnetic mind. If you've ever heard of Christopher Duncan, You're Not Broken, it's based on his work. It's based on that stuff. Or he doesn't call it his work, he calls it our work. But a lot of those coaches make at least 200 for a one-on-one session. So it's unheard of. It's a special. It's not going to last forever, because I actually want to do group sessions of this type of work, 100 a month and 2 sessions a week for a group. So that's what I'm actually wanting to go into. Yeah. Several therapists. Yeah, absolutely. You would have to do lifetimes and lifetimes. It's just no. This is so much easier. I have gained more ground in the couple. It's been maybe literally over a month, maybe a month and a week or something like that. In the time that I've been doing this work, then I have, in the 2017 to 2024, that time frame. And I mean, it's wait, what? And that's not to discourage anybody from Reiki or soul retrieval or hypnotherapy or breath work, because they're all great. But a lot of what these other modalities teach our unconscious mind is that there's something wrong with us and that we need to be fixed. And that actually puts us in a problem-solving structure. And when we're in that type of structure, all we're going to do is, if we try to go towards the thing that we want to create, what we end up doing is snapping back like a rubber band. I don't have a rubber band. Oh, I do. So we create this tension, we're in our wounds, right? And we try to go towards the thing we want to create, and we end up snapping back. Who's experienced that? Yeah. Yep. And it's piled. Yep. I get that. I totally get that. And so when we get into a creative structure, we actually, what do I want to create? Actually, it'd probably be this. What do I want to create? Where is the thing? What do I want to create? I want to create this. Okay, cool. How is it now? All right. And we create structural tension, and we bring up all of the things that are in the way. We give instructions to the superconscious to treat all of those things, so that all of those things can be removed. And so that then that thing that you want to create can just pull you forward. So it's so much easier, and it teaches your unconscious that you do not need to be fixed. You're perfect the way you are. You're not broken. It's good. It's good stuff. My trauma since I was 5 happened. Then shoved happened. And it tends to do that, right? We kind of shove it down. We shove it down, and then it gets buried. And the thing is, that stuff never goes away, unfortunately, unless we deal with it, or unless we release the old identities and the trauma and the wounds and the stuck emotions. Unless we remove those things are going to, because those also create part-time personalities, right? The protector, controller, the inner child, the wounded, whatever have you. And what happens is takeovers happen. We lose time, right? We like waste time doing the things that we don't want to do, or sabotaging ourselves continuously over and over again. Who's done that? I've done that. And so, yeah, unless we not fix those things, unless we, I had to turn my light off. Unless we remove those things, we're going to continue to sabotage ourselves or operate in those patterns that are keeping us in that problem-solving structure. Does that make sense? So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Razor sharp. Like, I was the same way. Definitely. Even if it's multiple traumas, yeah. Even if it's multiple traumas, absolutely. And then all different, yeah. Absolutely. Because we go into a creative structure. What do you want to create? Ooh, I'd like to create like, I'm trying to think of one of mine. Like, I would like to create a joyful, passively income, like just super abundant, like business that's joyful and freeing and liberating. And it feels like I have so many choices, and we go into that. And then, so, we don't just like clear one, all of the things in like one fell swoop, but we do. Does that make sense? We clear the things that are in the way of the thing that you want to create. So if there are multiple things that you want to create, then it would probably take multiple sessions. But it's like a whole orientation. It's a whole school. It's a whole thing. But yeah, even if there are multiple traumas and all different, because it's about what do you want to create and getting into that structure rather than the other structure. Divergent. Jennifer. Self-sabotaging. Oh, like you don't deserve to eat. Wow. So there's a lot of things. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm new into it, but because I've been coaching for this is my 6th year in October, but because I've been doing a lot of intuitive coaching and I've done a lot of my own work and a lot of my own healing, I took to this process like that. And it's one of the best, best processes out there that I have ever come across. And it's actually a newer process. I think they developed it in like 2020 is like when they started the business. But it's pretty amazing. I would definitely recommend that to anybody on the live or the replay that's like, I want to release some things. I've done it on myself. I've used it on a lot of different clients, and they're all like, holy crap. That was amazing. It's even, I would say it's shadow work has its place, so I don't want to discredit shadow work, but it's not shadow work. It's literally working with your higher self and instructing the higher self. So I would say it's more efficient than doing shadow work. Shadow work can be drawn out. It can bring up a lot of sore, raw emotions that then you feel are kind of unresolved. I don't know if anybody watching that has done that or that's done shadow work that feels like, like after a session or after bringing up all this stuff, you just feel raw and you feel like, what the F? This clears all of that stuff so that you're not you're processing it much quicker and you don't have to know all of the things, because our unconscious can be kind of tricky, right? It can be definitely kind of tricky. And it can, we can spend a lifetime learning all of these little traumas and what this trauma is and complex trauma and fight or flight or freeze or fawn, all of these things. And you don't have to learn all those things. You don't have to know. You just like, you as the facilitator, as the coach or whatever, you're just like instructing the things, and they remove. And I've seen incredible results myself, so have my clients, and they're dope. So I get that. I get that. I get that. So what happens, Razor, is we only treat, what we want to do is it's always treating with respect. We want all of the parts of you to be on board. Okay? We always want all of the parts to be on board, and we want them all to be on the treatment team. So we work with different things and different techniques in order to ensure that every part is on board. And if they're not on board, we do, or we treat what we can. It's never treating anything or anybody past their point. Does that make sense? So it's always about respect. Always about like, what can we do here and now? You know, we're never pushing anything past, because we do understand that some parts aren't ready. Some parts are like, no, that would actually re-traumatize the main personality. So, which is like, I feel like you're kind of getting at there with the PTSD. And so, I mean, it's something to think about, but it's definitely there, and we would never, any coach of this work would never just treat things or treat a part that was not ready to be treated. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But thank you for allowing me to like kind of dig into it and dive into it, because for anybody that's watching the replay, yeah, that's going to be on for a limited time until I get into more group work. So I'm a fragile lost mess. I just learned or accepted my childhood trauma stems from, yeah, absolutely. Our childhood trauma is going to definitely stem from like parents, siblings, family structures, etc. And part of like what that is, or part of like what comes with that, is also accepting that you now have responsibility. Like, it wasn't your fault that any of that happened to you, but it's now your responsibility to like deal with it, which can really suck to like be like, really? It can bring up a lot of like resentment, anger. It can bring up a lot of other issues that like, really? Now I have to be like, I didn't do this to me, but it's our responsibility. She didn't protect me. Yeah. I'm sorry that happened to you. I definitely get that. Hello, Belinda. How are you? Oh, wow. You sound like me a bit, Razor. I don't want to face it or disrespect her though. And she passed. Yeah, this is kind of, yeah. I definitely relate to that. I relate to that. I'm sorry that she didn't protect you. A lot of our parents didn't know, unfortunately, and it led to, because of their ignorance or their lack of care or nourishment, it created a lot of trauma. Yeah, she didn't know. Yeah, exactly. Jennifer, what did you pay for, my dear? Is this like a double reading, or what is it, my dear? A cardinal has been showing up in my front yard, or up in my front, in my front for the last week. Is someone trying to reach out to me? Let me just kind of click. Let me kind of fill into this, April, and see if there's anything that's connected. So it kind of feels like it would be more of a female figure. Is this female? That's really interesting. Why am I getting female on that side? It's very interesting. So it feels kind of like a female figure. I was going to ask if mom was passed, but it doesn't feel like she has. Has mom passed? Sometimes I have to ask because like it's like, oh. Son, oh, dad. So it's okay. So was dad like dad and mom? Because I'm like, it feels like mom, but it's on like masculine side. And I'm like, what is this? That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm confused. So when I get confused, I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is. Mom is still living. Okay. No, but like, was so we're like parents both together. This is interesting. It feels like it's on masculine side, but I was getting like a feminine energy. I don't know if dad was more like emotional or more caring or felt more nourishing, kind of like a mother would. I wonder if that's it, because it's a masculine energy, but it feels soft and nourishing. Whoever this is on my right side, that's who that is. Okay, that's who that is. That's who's sending it to you. Because I was like, yeah. Sometimes even I have to ask, because just to get clarity, because when you're interpreting things like that, you're like, it's like, wait, what is this? So it's dad. It's dad saying hi. I'm here. I'm around. Talk to me. Okay. It's dad. So it's like, it feels very feminine, very, very nourishing. Is dad. Dad saying hi. Jennifer, no, it's a cord cutting and donation for reading. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So would you like a cord? You want to do cord cutting as well, Jennifer? You're welcome, April. I hope that helps. And thank you for helping me to further refine those things for me. Because, yeah. You've never had a reading? So, okay, so cord cutting. So what is it? Chakra clearing and cord removal. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. All right, I got you. Oh, I'm glad, April. Sending you all the loves, my dear. All of the loves. Okay. I mean, I don't know if my kid's father is like soulmate, twin flame. If the cord, and any other useless. Okay, so if that cord needs to get cut, and then like any other, yeah, that's kind of what I do. Okay, so I'm just gonna tune into your energy, Jennifer, and we're gonna do like a kind of like a full kind of tune up. So. So if anybody wants to anybody else on the live or the replay wants to tune into like what's for their highest and best good, as far as like the energy work, your higher self, you can direct your higher self to receive what's for your highest and best good. Okay. And you can receive, even though I'm specifically working with Jennifer. So Jennifer, I just want you to take some deep breaths for me. You can do this eyes open or eyes closed, whichever way feels best for you. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to fill that up. And if you want to bring your awareness down to your root right now, I'm just kind of connecting you and grounding you. There we go. So I'm just going through the chakras and I'm clearing and energizing the chakras right now. And I'm just starting at your root. And sometimes it's easier for me to just like do the thing than it is for me to explain it. But just tune into like any sensations or any other things that come up. But right now we're just like, I'm working on your chakras. Lea loia na hea se awe ya laia mahaya 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 lakia lakia leoia ne hase lea na moia se. And then now I'm moving into the sacral. Lakia la moia se mo se amasea samasea masea sa. Energizing and clearing out that sacral. Lea moia sikia na lea na tukuye ya natea. Lea matoya mama lea hasikia. Interesting. I'm going to make a note at the sacral and I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to work on the solar. Alekia mawea na tea halewea si. Mawea te moea te lea hawea. It's already feeling better in here. Okay, I'm just clearing out and energizing that solar plexus chakra. No yele hayama wase haya tatakata. And now we're going to move into the heart. Koloia natia matea ale. Hasikia natia alea sea oh. Aleke alea natoya senea siata hasea. Alea. Really allowing like I just feel a lot of joy coming through the heart. So like just kind of letting that flow as we clear and like energize that heart chakra. Okay, now we're going to flow that into the move all of that into the throat. This is interesting. I feel throat as I'm connecting. When I connect to you, I feel throat, and it connects to like, I'm gonna say baby daddy, as it connects to your kid's father. This does feel karmic to me. Okay, so I'm gonna continue upwards and into the third eye, and we're just gonna keep a note there. And I'm going to turn up because this is about just clearing your chakras right now. Le ala aha siana wahase hase kia wanate. La hase kia momo se ti. Matoya se amata to kwashana. as I'm clearing this out, there's definitely this feels like it connects into your reading about all of the spiritual gifts being kind of like temporarily cut off. They're not cut off, they're just like on low volume, so that you can practice more of your discernment, because this discernment thing definitely needs to come more into alignment with like lower chakra healing. Okay. Because that lower chakra healing and the things that you realize when clearing out your root, your sacral, and your solar, it's going to add so much insight and awareness to being able to like create sharper discernment. Okay. Hale amata umauia hale to maha shawahata. And then I'm going to move into the crown. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Very interesting. 1 second. I'm just going to clear this first. So I'm just moving the energy and clearing all of the gunk, any stagnant energy, and also anything that is ready to leave your system. I'm clearing all of that out now. I'm going to actually bring in Arcturian healing light. To specifically use the Arcturian healing frequencies to like clear out your system. So it's really funny, not funny necessarily, haha, but it's just interesting, funny, that type of funny, that there's kind of like a cap here. Like I feel like a little bit of a cap. And your highest guide has put that there so that you can actually help, so that it's like, no, you're not time to come up here, up and out of the body. It's almost like a cap, so you can't astral project and do the things in like the higher chakras. It's creating it's creating the block that you're feeling, so that you can actually go into healing. I'm just going to check in, because we're clearing your chakras, but I also do like an auric, like I sweep your aura. So I'm just going to clear. Okay. 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 Just checking a couple of things. Oh, interesting. Okay. So part of this, okay, so you were tapping into a little bit of something with the karma thing, because there is, I don't know, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of karma. Like, I feel like there's a lit some karma that needs to be cleared between you and your um, ex-partner. And I feel like it would actually go quicker if you were to get into like healing spaces or start shadow work or whatever is calling to you. I'm also going to like invite you into like that 2-session special, or like even like the healing space with me, because girl, like if this is, we're gonna do the chords stuff, but like this is more than chords. And if you, the way it comes through is like if you like heal or like remove, release the deeper stuff that's there, excuse me, yeah, if you release the deeper stuff that's there, excuse me, the you're going to feel so much less affected by your kid's father. And I don't even know if that's true, like you feel like affected by his energy or by that relationship, but like we could definitely facilitate some like really profound releasing, as it's going to help to like settle a lot of that and create a greater level of sovereignty. You also have to show up and do the work. So it's not like, no matter who you get into, even if it's me, it doesn't matter if it's someone else. So again, it's not the, especially I would never do that. I don't want to take anybody's power. So you still have to show up and do the work, and like to become more self-aware and really, really tune into Jennifer's needs, right? But I'm just, spirits like like I can just feel the type of releasing that is possible with this, and I'm like, oh wow, that's it's a pretty big shift. Okay, so that's all like up to you. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna get to the chords. Okay. And we're just going to fill in all of those spaces that we just kind of removed all those chords from. I will say, as we're filling in these the holes where the chords were, I will say that it does feel like that karmic cord that's coming in through the throat, and it feels like it hinders expression, that's connected to the kid's father. It does feel like if you're not like actively or proactively releasing the old stuff, and whether you want to use the word healing or releasing or like disconnecting that, like really understanding the lesson that's there, and in order to bring greater self-awareness and like even like self-authority, reclaiming power, direction, it's just going to reconnect. It's gonna reconnect. And he feels more like a karmic contract. You can even call that a twin flame. You can call it, I mean, I don't typically resonate with terms like this, but like it feels karmic. It's literally being brought in from another life where there was like a limitation or a suppression of your voice and that. So it might have been the other way around. Was it? Honestly, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, but it does feel karmic to me. Because sometimes the reason why I say it doesn't really matter, because a lot of times we want to try to like logic these things out and like we want to figure out all the things. And sometimes to figure out all these things, it can be a distraction from actually releasing the shit. Does that make sense? So that's why I say like it doesn't really matter. If it needs to be released, then like release it. Okay. We don't need to figure out all of the things because it can just be a mode or a means to distract ourselves from the actual work at hand. But I do want to say that it feels like that cord from him is gonna reconnect, unless up until you actually like fully release and complete that contract. It's not fully complete. We can't even like null it and void it out because it's not fully complete. There's like a lesson. There's like a little, if you think of a contract and like the terms of agreements or the terms and agreements, it's like, it's kind of like that. And that box has not been checked. So we can't null and void and like clear that contract for you. You have to like learn the lesson that's there. So we're just filling all of that in. Let's see what else. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to treat all of I'm going to bring in the Arcturian Pegasus frequency, and I'm going to treat the mental and emotional bodies and help create greater cohesion. So I'm going to call in any soul fragments, soul pieces now that are ready to come back. We're going to clear those soul pieces, soul fragments of any attachments, energetic agreements, cords, etc. before they come back in. And they're going to come back in through your heart space so that that sacred fire of the heart can actually truly, fully cleanse them. So just so that you know, like they're fully cleansed, they're not going to come back with any like imprints or whatever. And this is to create greater cohesion and harmony between the heart and the mind. And to also clear any like stagnant emotions out of your body and out of your body right now. And like help to calm the mind, bringing greater peace, greater clarity. Okay, we're going to bring, let's see, that into, we're going to bring the Arcturian healing frequency into the nervous system. Yep. We're going to bring that into specifically the solar plexus and help treat that. Okay. We're going to let that run. For the next, we're going to let all of these run for about the next half an hour. And then they're just going to turn off and like, after they've done their thing. So I'm just kind of checking to see if there's anything else that needs to be like shifted or moved, because the chakras are looking good. They're feeling more balanced. But again, oh, okay, that's what takes me back. So I was gonna say, first off, I was gonna say, but like there needs to be like some really deep healing of those first three chakras. Okay, because it's gonna create so much clarity and so much like richness of learning for you. Okay, it is your choice, so that gets to be at your pace when you choose to do so. And then I did mark the the sacral. So there is like a, let me fill back into this. What is this? There is like an issue with receiving fully here, because it feels like um and we're not just speaking of like abundance, but like or like financial abundance, but yeah, like that too. Also just like abundance in general, and like receiving flow, and your true flow, like the flow of inspiration, ideas. And we need that to be able to bring ideas down and ground them into reality. So if you had an idea, for example, to write a book, it would come in through your crown, right? Oh man, I received this great idea for a book, I'm going to start writing it. But like, because your sacral feels like very reluctant to receive energy or receive like inspiration, because it feels like, I am not sure about that. I'm very cautious. I'm very like, I don't want to receive anything that I don't know, because it makes the sacral feel unsafe, is how I kind of interpret it. And so if you're trying to write that book and you're trying to bring it through down all those chakras, right? Down into the third eye for more insights and like all of the connections in the brain and discernments and all of the things, down into the throat because it's part of your expression and like your own voice and how you express things and how you word things, down into the heart because it's part of your joy and your passion to bring this book through, and then down into your solar plexus because that's part of like, this is who I am right now. It's part of my identity. It's part of my personality. It's part of my will to bring this through, because that's will also. And then like it would get stuck in your sacral because it'd be like, nope. So if you try to like, any kind of ideas or inspiration that comes in, it feels like it gets stuck in your sacral, because it's like, it doesn't feel like, I don't feel safe. Nope. I've received here before, and it's like it associates, it's this kind of associated with trauma. So I don't know, with like the birth of your kids, if there was like traumatic births or just other issues with receiving that have already been there. But it definitely goes back to childhood, and then maybe was even repeated with your kids, not sure. But it just like your sacral, we've done what we can, but like sacral feels like, I would say, a little trepidatious when it comes to receiving any type of form of abundance or inspiration. And so it feels like things would get stuck there. So it wouldn't even like move past there and into like the root chakra. So I don't know if you have issues with completing, like following through, like all the way through, like a project or an idea or a creative project or whatever, all the way through. But there's some stickiness in that sacral for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and ground everything in and seal. More nature, more outside. Excuse me. yeto male khasa ta mo wate anaha le mo ye le se hama wate mo ma le haya. I'm just waiting for confirmation. Okay. All right. So we're all good. We've done all the things. How are you feeling, Jennifer? How are you feeling, Jennifer? 1 second. Let me swipe that. Okay. All right. Or did you fall asleep? She might have fallen asleep because she fell asleep the last 2 times. You feel really like, there you are. I'm glad you didn't fall asleep. Yeah, there was quite a bit that we removed. There was a lot of cords holding you down. And here's the very interesting thing with cords that I already went through with this. But if we're not like getting to the root cause of why the cords are coming in, which can be the way we operate or energetic agreements or other behavioral issues, sabotaging patterns, all of these other patterns that we have going on. If we're not getting to the root and removing those roots, then cords can come back in. And really what I found is cords are a really interesting way to learn how to really become sovereign in your space. But I do feel like the throat stuff can happen again with your kid's father, because that's not fully clear in that contract. I still see a contract in my head when I tune into your throat chakra. So that feels like it could possibly reconnect. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah, I agree. That's part of why. Because did you know what we resist owns us? You can also say it like, what we resist persists. So anything that we like dislike or really have an emotion, like a negative emotional charge to it, owns us. And that's the same for the things that we desire. So it goes both ways, negative and positive. But yeah, it feels like he really like gets on your nerves, and that's part of the lesson that you're here to learn, and like really release that, so that relationship can change, and then you feel like more neutral and like whatever. And you would probably, even in changing you, and not changing you in a fixing kind of way, but just changing, like learning the lesson and really understanding the things that need to come through for you, you would evoke a different version of him. And then you would evoke a version of him that wouldn't quote unquote aggravate you. Does that make sense? Because we're all powerful creators. So we all bring out different sides of each other. So I think it's funny. I love it. But yeah. I would definitely like to invite you into like this new group thing, because I'm going to get the group thing going, and I think from what I feel like you could really benefit from it. But like, again, it's not to be self-promoting, but also like at the same time, I know what this work can do, and I know how it can help people. So like, why not put it out there? I think it's important to know that it's important for people to know, like, there are things, it's important to invite people into a deeper level of like understanding and knowing, and you can use healing if the word is healing for you. But yeah, that's there. Okay. I'll let you know because I'm putting it together. Okay. And for a little bit over the price of what you just paid me, it would be monthly for 8 sessions in a group. It's so dope. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm so ready to like make a greater impact in people's lives because like, fuck yeah. Oh yeah, it is possible. Yeah, Razor. Have you even been able to see what a person's purpose is? It's funny that I actually just, if that's something that anybody wants to know, whether you're on live now or on the replay, I just facilitated for an amazing woman that's one of her gifts. She can actually like tune into you and be like, okay, like I think you'd be really good at this and this and this and this. And she's really good at helping people find like their forever home. She's on the East Coast though. So you'd have to be on the East Coast, probably like in her location, but she can tap into that. And I was like, yeah, just feeling into a person, I can feel what a person can kind of like do. And like, so since I was facilitating for her, so if you want her information, I can definitely send that your way. But it's definitely possible. There are so many people that are like, oh, I can tell you all the things. I can, but that's not necessarily my thing. My thing is more transformation, like deep internal transformation, because I'm a catalyst. Does that make sense? Like I'm here to help people like really transform the way they think about themselves, the way they do things, the way they like, take fucking radical responsibility for their shit and own it and be the fucking magical, magnificent being you came here to be. That's what I'm here to do. But people do that. Yeah, absolutely. If you want her information, I can send you her way, Jennifer, or anybody else. I know her through Instagram, but I would have to like send you her information. So like, or send you her, what is it, like her profile, so you can be like, oh, can I book in with you? You know what I mean? What's your most absurd question? I probably won't think it is, but oh, Belinda, that's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. Cleansing light. There are different specialties for everyone. Yeah, but there are different limitations. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I could see. I definitely get what you're saying as to like limitations, but I also feel like it could be limitless. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see it. Oh, are you able to see if someone is from this plane? Like if they are something? My So the way I see is more empathically, more clairsentiently, more like I just know things. So I don't have like, I do have clairvoyance, but it's not as strong as my claircognizance, my clairaudience, and my empathy, my ability to feel. So I could feel into if someone is maybe not from this plane, and if there's some things like maybe going on with it. That's not to say that I'd be able to necessarily label what the thing is, but I would definitely be able to feel if like there was something off, or if it didn't feel human, or if it didn't like feel the things. yeah, I could definitely feel things. It's just to say, are there things like, you know, because it's all, to me, it's all about like refining what you do. Um, so that would, so I can feel the things, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you, oh, it's this, and this, and this, Does that make sense? Um, that's really, thank you for sharing that cleansing light. Oh, like if someone was a mermaid from the moon? Like, do you mean like, yeah. Um, I feel like you're speaking energetically because we all have different energetics. Um, Jennifer, we all have like different energetics. Um, like I have a very angelic, my name's Angelica, but I have a very angelic connection, but I also have a lot of like ET connections, like Pleiadian and Sirian and Lyran, and I like so many. I can't even like name them all. Pleiad, like just all of them. But there's like there are some Syrians that like kind of feel and look and come across as mermaids. So it kind of depends. But I feel like you're talking energetically. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. um, oh, okay. So the water. Yeah, absolutely. So you're listening. Yeah. You're listening to the water. Yeah, I'm able to do that with things as well. I can see and hear things with how the light touches things in certain ways. I can hear the wind and it talks to me, the water. Yeah, the elements. You're talking to the elements, so you're talking to the water. It's not that's not that's not weird at all. It's beautiful. So it feels like you might be in tune with more elemental type of energies. Does that make sense? Yeah, and these are things that we can all do. So it's not by no means, you know, we can all do the things. It's just about like we do all have like different, gifts and abilities, but we can do all the things. It's really just about, say if you wanted to become a bodybuilder or you wanted to get into fitness, it's just about doing the right exercises, right? The right exercise plan, the right meal plan, etc. It's the same thing, but just spiritually. Oh, you could totally do that, Razor. You could totally do that. What are you talking about? You can absolutely do that. It's a matter of practice. Yeah. Some people have a natural affinity to understand pets or different animals, and others of us just have to practice. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, animals don't think in the way that we do. They don't tend to have, for the most part, they don't tend to have a self-awareness like we do. Yeah, they speak in more of like feelings and their instincts. They don't think in the way that we do. They don't have self-awareness in the way that we do. But there are some pets that come along that do have like that self-awareness. Kind of like a dog. Is it A Dog's Purpose with Dennis Quaid? Yeah, absolutely they can. Not necessarily. It's not necessarily a bad thing if you hear someone calling your name and no one's there. It depends on like the energy, the vibe. It's not necessarily like just a bad thing. It could have even just been, you never know. It could have been like a guide. It could have been other things, but it's not necessarily like a bad thing. Oh, very interesting, Razor. Very interesting. I'm sorry you lost him. I love kitties. I have 4 kitties. So I definitely cats, all of the cats. Oh, years later a cat came to you? Oh, excuse me, and the breed I adopted, but I swear it's my first. I would always go with your gut. Like coming back around to you to be like, "Hey, I'm back." Animals and the connection that we have to them is so magical. It can be so like it can be triggering in a lot of ways, but can be like also so beautiful. So that's really cool. That's really cool. I love it. So wait, hold on. I did see something. Let me go back. Yeah, that would so Belinda, that would definitely like I could definitely do that, but it would fall under the paid services. But it is something that I can definitely facilitate for you, like the like kind of removing that stuff. What I want to do even more than that is teach people how to do this for themselves so they can feel empowered in this. But yeah, that is something that I could do. It is a paid service though on my lives. Um, um, oh, that's very interesting, Razor. That's very interesting. um, let's see. Let's see if it'll go on and stay on for a while. Let's just do like one little last sweep and then so I can do the things. So like a general reading, yeah. So Belinda, nice to connect to you again. Let me just interesting. Let me just kind of yeah. All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna do. I'm just gonna pull. Whoa. Interesting. That was quick. I was like, I'm gonna pull a card for you, but I didn't even get to finish before this kind of popped out. So truth. This is about awareness. Truth. So truth. Let me just kind of feel into this for a minute. So I hear missing truth. And sometimes when I get phrases like this, they can mean a lot of different things from a lot of different like perspectives or perceptions depending on where you're at in life. So I feel like missing truth can be taken in a lot of different ways like that. I almost feel like they're okay, not feel. I am seeing like almost as if you were doing this over your third eye. And our third eye is a place of discernment and like seeing past illusions, manipulation, hijacks, or like just like, or hijinks, other people's stuff. And because it's like this, it feels like you're there. It feels like you're keeping yourself from the truth or hiding the truth from yourself, because it feels like you're doing this, but not necessarily on a conscious level. This feels like more of like an unconscious identity that tends to like that can take over. We have a main personality, we have sub personalities, and sometimes as a main personality we can hide things from ourselves, almost like in dissociative identity disorder, or what used to be known as multiple personality disorder. Not that you have that, but I'm saying like as an example, how one part of a person would know the things and the other part of a person would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of like that. But like DID is like an extreme example of fragmentation within a person. But like I feel like one of your part personalities, like your unconscious, is doing this to your third eye. And it's like, nope, I don't want to see the thing. I don't know what the thing is, but it does feel like missing truth and also keeping truth from the self. So sometimes we can willingly, even if it's unconsciously, keep things from ourselves or be in denial about something. And that's kind of what it kind of gives me the vibe of this thing is. But I keep hearing missing truth. So I would maybe even ask you as like a question to contemplate in your own time or even journal about is like, what truth would be too hard to handle and therefore would be more ideal or even more safe to keep that from yourself? Because it feels like a form of self-protection, and that's what typically that, what I found that's going to be is like if we're in denial, it's a form of self-protection, or it can be ignorance as well, but like it's also like still boils down to like protecting ourselves from the truth or protecting, that's what it feels like. But they don't give me like anything specific. It's just like missing truth. You're like, there's a part. Okay, now they're showing me a puzzle piece missing, like there's a puzzle and there's a puzzle piece missing. There's actually a couple of puzzle pieces missing, but that's what I feel when I tune into your energy. And it feels like I don't want to see it, which also is going to affect, like negatively affect and impact your ability to discern more clearly. So if we have like our own illusions or disillusions or truths that we have yet to like fully come into, step into, or maybe are in denial of, it is going to create blind spots for us. And it can also impact negatively our ability to discern. when other people are maybe being deceptive or somehow untruthful, etc. Okay, so it feels like that's also part of the not danger, but that's part of like the downfall or the pitfall that comes with this thing. It's like I'm keeping myself safe, but at the same time, there's that pitfall of like you're unable to see when someone else is being, deceptive in that same respect because you don't want to see. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm asking yourself, what do you not want to see? What would it be too hard to see? And kind of seeing what kind of flows from there. Okay. I'm like over here talking in there and like the camera's over here. When I close my eyes, I swear. But that's what I feel for you. You're a Gemini. Yeah, I get that. My job is ending in June and going through sorting up finances. Interesting. Oh, so cleansing light, you got something from it too. Yeah. Wow. This is blocking myself from connecting to my guides. Yeah, and yeah. Whatever makes sense to you, let it land where it needs to. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're Belinda or not. Really. You have to be in sleep. You have to be awake in 3 hours. Girl, you better go to sleep. Get your butt to sleep. Get some rest. We love you. Yeah, I mean, Monica, of course you would change. Absolutely. We're not meant to stay stagnant. It's kind of one of those human misunderstandings that we have of like, oh, I'm not going to change, but we actually change every day. Like our cells are constantly renewing, our organs, all of our tissues. So it's part fallacy to think that we wouldn't be changed by loss or grief or just by simply living. We love you, Jennifer. Get some rest. And I'll reach out to you when I have all of that set up. Okay? Sounds good? This isn't tarot. This is just, I don't even know what kind it is. I use it just to connect. It's just another way to pull information. Because also when I sit and like listen, it brings in information faster and quicker for me. So not that I need to explain myself, but that's kind of like why I do that. And sometimes it's just personal preference. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's fun. It's fun to work with cards and different things because the frequencies that the cards hold, they have packets of information that you can use to bring in more information, more layers of understanding for a client or for a person, right? So it really is personal preference and just kind of like, for me, it just kind of helps me pull different layers. Yeah. I think it depends. I think it depends on who you are. For me, it brings in extra information. It doesn't block information. And it can be just an easier way to like tap in quick instead of like sitting here for a moment or two, which I don't mind. I don't mind doing that either. But like sometimes people, I find like sometimes, they just kind of click off or they don't want to watch that, or it's like, just wanting to maximize my time. Kind of like kind of like a focal point, kind of just like, oh, here it is. All right, boom. So yeah, absolutely. I think, yes, it's like 1 a.m. here. I think it's time for me to do the things. I will be back most likely for sure tomorrow night. Not sure about Friday night. And yeah, if you'd like to book one-on-one with me, go to my booking and you can see all of my offerings, my services, my availability, all the things and what I offer. And I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching, whether you're live or on the replay. I don't care. Love you guys, right? Absolutely. Thank you too, Belinda. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Have a good night.